some people look at the history of curbside recycling in the U.S. and say we're at the 40th anniversary. They look at 1973. That was the year when curbside programs went from a few dozen. That's when it crossed over the 100 mark. There were, in 1973, there were more than 100 communities around the country. And now we have thousands and thousands of towns and cities where curbside recycling is a basic part of the infrastructure of waste management. Municipal solid waste in the United States accounts for 3% of the waste stream. With that statistic in mind, how do we begin to reconfigure the conversation, take the kind of initiative and energy and focus and drive that got curbside recycling off the ground, that got it successful, and broaden the conversation so that we go to the manufacturers and we say, do we really need these 7 or 8 different kinds of rosins that are the plastics that we use in all of our daily lives now? Do we really need to be that the burden of discarding and recycling falls to the individual and is not the responsibility of the producer? This is a controversial idea, and it is one that is debated very hotly in some circles, and I won't go into all of that now, but the way in which cities are responsible for waste management is partly a way in which the creators of the waste are kind of not held to the same standard that the municipalities are in dealing with those end products, dealing with the discards. So why do we not require anyone making a thing to have built into the thing's lifespan an end plan? Why does it have to fall to the cities, that the end plan is on us? That's where I hope waste challenges, I hope we begin to address that challenge when we think about waste management at the municipal level, because I think we focus on the curb, and that's really important. It's time to back up, to look upstream, as they say, to broaden our perspective so that it includes the curb. We don't have to abandon the curb, but I think we need to be asking those questions of a much broader scale.
Just to add to that, recently the City Council passed legislation requiring that the manufacturers of refrigeration units, whether it's a refrigerator or an air conditioner, that sort of thing, where you have the gas in there that has to be removed, that they have to fund it. And we're working with the oversight group that they have to collect a fee, because we go out, we remove the gas, and then we pick up that item and we recycle it. But it's going out with our work is removing the gas from these units. So it's a first step forward. It's been something that's been on the drawing boards for many, many years, but it's now got pushed far enough. And I think today, with recycling and more concern about a green environment, that the companies are feeling. I mean, you even see today in a paper, and at times they're talking about the big companies, particularly oil refineries, being responsible for the carbon emissions that they have, and they're going to have to pay for that. Well, one thing is pay for it. The other thing is really to reduce it. And hopefully by getting them to pay for it, they'll find better ways of reducing the emissions from these places. Just like we had to reduce the emissions on our vehicles. That's a whole other story, how we go through that to have basically the cleanest diesel engine trucks in the city. Is the diesel engine the best engine? Probably not. But we're working with CNG and other things, hydraulic vehicles, hybrid vehicles. So there's that side of sanitation that people don't realize. You know, it's a very intricate job that nobody really thinks, oh, it's the garbage picked up, you sweep my streets, it's my street plowed. But behind the scenes, there's an awful lot going on. And a lot of it is just to improve the environment.